Hello everyone. We're going to go ahead and get started. My name is Kelly. I'm an event host here at Vroman's Bookstore. Thank you so much for joining us. Before we start though, if you could please silence your cell phones, we would really appreciate that. Welcome to this month's Local Author Day. This is a series that we do every month where we feature local authors from the surrounding area. Today's authors are Charity Luki, Dan Joyce, and Tim and Dr. Jennifer Conzen. If you've never attended a local author day before, here's a little bit about how it'll go. Each author will come up and do their presentation, take a few questions, and then the next author will go. And after everyone's presented, they'll stick around to sign books for you. You can find their books back there on that shelf that says Local Author Day. They're all up here, all upstairs, and you can take them from that shelf to any of our registers and then come back and get them signed. And we do ask that you do that before you purchase them. Okay, enough of the boring housekeeping stuff. Our first presenter is Dan Joyce. He's an Orange County-based artist who is shown in several galleries throughout Southern California. He's published 9 books and recorded and produced 2 music CDs. He's a graduate of Cal State Fullerton, and his art can be found all over the internet in the local galleries of Fullerton and the Groski Arts Colony. Today he's here to present his book, Bus Stop Talk, which is a patchwork of wild conversations, rants, and jokes, and a major new collection of his witty, provocative illustrations. Please join me in welcoming Dan Joyce.
Okay, how many people have something they have to do every day, or almost every day, that they really don't like to do, that they hate to do? Okay, quite a few. For me, it was riding the bus. Sitting and waiting a long time on bus stops, maybe getting on and sitting next to undesirable people, or mean bus drivers. And one day I got an inspiration that kind of changed it all. I started jotting down little jokes and comments that we'd say on the bus. And it started to make a bus a little more of an adventure. I'd write the stories on the bus and on the bus stops, and when I got home, which started with jokes and comments, went on to be thoughts on politics and religion, art in the art world, addiction and recovery, mental health awareness, even thoughts on life and death itself. I took the little notes home and I sent them to my editor, and I illustrated them with an iPad. The result was a 706-page book, Jotting My Adventure, that took me about a year to write. This is Bus Stop Talk.
Well, she was an American girl, raised on promises. She couldn't help thinking there was a little more to life somewhere else. After all, it was a great big world, lots of places to run to. And if she had to die trying, she had one little promise that she was gonna keep. Oh yeah. Alright, take it easy, baby. Make it last all night. She was an American girl. Well, it was kind of cold at night. She stood alone on a balcony. It's so painful when something that's so close is still so far out of reach. Oh yeah. Alright, take it easy, baby. Make it last all night. She was based on promises. She couldn't help thinking that there was a little more to life somewhere else. After all, it was a great big world. Lots of places to run to. And if she hadn't had time, she had one little promise that she was gonna keep. Oh yeah, alright, easy baby, make it last all night. She was an American.
Okay, so now I've got some simple pages I'll share with you, and then we'll have a question and answer. You know I have to say this. You're very pretty. I don't believe you. You say that to everyone. Why would I lie about that? You think I'd go around telling ugly women they're beautiful? They might kiss me. New Year's resolution for 2017. Don't kill anyone. How to accomplish. Attend anger management meetings, the safer ones. Cooperate with the law and current terms of probation. I'm sure murder would constitute a violation of some kind. Keep at least 25 yards away from all a-holes while carrying no concealed firearms or solid stones. Avoid contact with family members and ex-lovers. Do not attend a Trump rally. Avoid personal contact with Facebook friends and trollers. Continue production of art, music, and poetic projects. Do not ask for personal evaluations or opinions. When conversing with stupid people, use only small, simple words. Pay no attention to proper English or any standard rules of critical thinking. Wait till next year and attempt all of the above again. I've been to so many churches. I've been saved and dunked so many times. I'm the only guy I know who got born again and again and again. Dan the Romantic. Cindy, you've been really distant lately, and I didn't know if I'd done something wrong or if it was my fault by ignoring you. So I got you this. It's a red rose. It might say a bit much, but they didn't have any yellow ones at the 7-Eleven. I hope you kept the receipt. Dan, at what point in life did you realize you were a fine artist? Everywhere I went, people would ask me what I did for a living. So I'd tell them I was on Social Security disability. Then they'd ask me what for. So I'd tell them I'm bipolar. Then they'd ask me about that. Pretty soon everyone on the bus stop knew all my personal information. So I became an artist. Now I don't have to tell them nothing. An atheist can be considered spiritual provided he has a set of principles by which to live. For example, in Eastern spirituality, there usually isn't a religious belief as we would know one. They're considered more to be philosophies or ways of life. Usually there's no clear sense of good and evil, no heaven, a vague afterlife or reincarnation, and no God as one would perceive one to be. In fact, the Buddha never claimed to be God. That is a fallacy made up by Western thinking. Apparently the Buddha became a god, but no one ever told the Buddha. Dan, you know, you're actually really smart. I don't mind you calling me intelligent. I just don't appreciate the surprised look on your face when you say it. It's fun riding the bus. I'm really riding from a different voice, the everyday people. Not everyone has a car. A lot of people choose not to drive, and others just kind of live on the bus. But I see and hear and understand America as a whole better and we're as a people really not that bad. Everyone wants to vote. Everyone wants their say. Everyone wants money, power, romance. But really, all that gets lost in the day-to-day. I hate riding the bus, especially waiting so long on bus stops. I could probably buy a car soon, but I don't want to because all I know about cars is how to crash them. They all end up in the junkyard, even the ones I like. One time I had a car I didn't like, so I drove it to straight to the junkyard and crashed it. Saved me some time. Okay, puppy. Guess who's not sharing their cookies with you, I'll give you a hint. He's the other person in the room and the one with the cookies. When I regained my sobriety, I had lost hundreds of good friendships and had to leave a few. I had left because of their continued use of drugs and alcohol, including a woman I cared for very much. An old sponsor once told me, there is only one guarantee in any relationship. It will end, whether by breakups, divorce, or death. Some may still hold hopes for a reunion in the afterlife. On his deathbed, Joe DiMaggio proclaimed such a love. I'll finally be back with Marilyn Monroe. It may be a fact that true love never ends, but it shouldn't have to kill you. Women are like cats. You chase them and they run, you smother them and they scratch, you corner them and they fight fiercely. Then when you're all busy doing something else, that's when they want the attention. Here's a religious one. Hang in there, God is good. I'm not always, but he is. The Bus Stop Manifesto. We are the people, the working people, the students, the immigrants, the homeless, the forgotten people. With our cell phones and our passes, our bags of carrier, our backpacks, our beards, our beanies, you may not love us, you may not like us, or like to look at us, but we are Americans. We are America. We are your children, your sons, your daughters, your mothers and fathers. We are the artists, the creators, and the homemakers of this poverty trap. We are the poets and the political voices. We are the downtrodden and anonymous. Our care and our conversation is your culture. We are the cause, the protest, and the protesters. We are the supporters of what we believe, what we are told, and which we want to tell you. For down to the marrow of our bones, we all believe passion, strength, drive, and vision. We are the builders of today and tomorrow. You may see us, you may know us, you may help us, you may touch us, but through the funding of the county transit, as we ride the bus, we are important. We shall survive. And so that's basically what it is. It's a little adventure I just made to make the bus riding fun. I made a book out of it. Are there any questions? I left a lot of time for questions. Yeah?
You wrote this over a year?
It took, the first draft took a few months because I was just jotting down things on the bus. You saw there was a lot of room for illustrations. And I just, with my iPhone and with my computer, just jotted a lot of it was written right on the bus itself, most of it, and on the bus stops. Although it's not all bus stop conversations and stuff. So the first draft took about 60 to 90 days. And then from there, I edited it. I sent it to my editor, which took a month or so, and I spent the rest of the time illustrating it all. And I just used an iPad, and I used Creative Cloud, sent it to Photoshop, and made a whole book.
Any other questions? Did you want to say anything else?
Well, I hope you all enjoy the book. You take a look at it. There's lots to look at, and there's a whole. One of the things the editor said, and one of the things I noticed there's a whole plethora of stuff to talk about. It's a whole bunch of stuff, and it kind of gives both sides of your politics and your religion, all the controversy stuff. So there's a lot of stuff that you might not like, a lot of stuff that you might really like, and if you get a good laugh and have a good time, that's what it's intended to do.